Alright everyone, so we're building first the tank. And we have our equipments right here. I'm gonna leave a link in the bottom where you can find where to get this whole kit, in addition to another 4 kits. So we're building this beautiful tank. We have our engine, we have our battery place here, holder, we have some rubber bands, and we got the wheels, and we have 2 red wheels, and we have the main body, okay, and some nails and a screwdriver, and this is to get the precise work done, right, with this forgot what this is called. However, let's get started. So first thing we're gonna do is that we're gonna have our board, the main board right here, and we're gonna work with that. The first thing you need to do is basically to open up the screwdriver kit and just empty them out. You will use some of them at a time, not all of them. So the first thing we need to do is to place on the second hole, we're gonna take these wheel, these are called wheel holders, and we're gonna place them right on the second hole of the board. You can see that it has some holes in it. So we're not gonna put it in the first hole, we're gonna put it actually in the second and third hole, and then we're gonna nail it in with our screwdriver. It's this letter safe screwdriver and some nails. So let's get that done. We're gonna place one here, right? I really encourage you to get your own kit. I left a link down there on the video, and it's really cheap. You can buy the whole 5 kits at a very decent price. So once you put that in there, you need to put the first nail in, and just the nail, you don't have to put any separator or nothing, right? So let's put that in. Let me just align it. That's where this tool comes in handy. Let me actually zoom in a little bit for you so you can see what I'm doing, and let me fix up my camera. Alright, hope you can see that. So first thing we're going to do is that we're going to put the screwdriver in to work. For some reason it's not getting aligned. Once you get hold of it, guys, it becomes really easy. I would suggest you hold it like this first, and then you get the screwdriver and you start to screw it in. Alright, so we have our first piece screwed in already. Okay, it might feel a little bit tight when you start to screw in, so if you would like to and you have a better screwdriver than this, I do have more, but I chose to use this one because I know this is the one that arrives with the kit, so that you can see what I'm doing. It has some magnet into it, so you can actually get to use that as well. Make sure that you screw it in. Don't go too tight because you don't want to break the board, right? So once you screw it in, it would look like something like that. It has the 2 nails in, and it does not really go through, so don't feel like it's gonna go through or something. And that's basically the first part. I'm gonna do that in here and here and here so that we can actually place the wheels in there. So try not to go with the first hole in the board, always use the second hole, right, and then just put your nails in. I wish you have your kit with me so that you can build it as I'm building it as well. That would be really cool. Step by step, we're going very slow. You don't feel like if you feel like I'm going fast, you can go ahead and pause the video. Make sure that you get the first step done before you move on with me to the second step. Alright, and here's the second one. I really would like to use a bigger screwdriver because this one is really too small to twist it, and it's getting the work kind of harder, but it's actually getting the work done, so I'm not bothered by that at all. Alright, I managed to get it in, and I'm screwing it in. Alright, so we got the first 2 wheel placements done. We're gonna get the other 2. You put it in, make sure that you do not put it in the first hole. The reason these holes are there is to help you align the wheels, because if you miss any of them and you put like say you put this one in the first hole and the other one starts with the second hole, you're gonna have a very funny looking wheel. And what is gonna happen is that your tank or your car is gonna just end up shifting to one direction, which is not what you want. So I managed to get that one in. When you put in the two nails, try not to screw the first one hard. Just go halfway almost, just to get it in place, and then put the other one in. I'm screwing it in. Alright, once you have the other one in, you can go ahead and screw it all the way. Once it's not moving and it's kind of stable, stop at that. You don't have to go really hard on it, because you don't want to break. Remember, this board is plastic. You break it, you lost your kit. So don't go all the way in. And here's the other part. Oh god, this will take you some time. And the fun part is that you end up building something really sturdy, something really strong for all of you inventors out there. You feel like you actually build your own car, and you can manage where to send it, like where it drives off. Well, that depends on the power of the battery you're gonna be using. By the way, you're gonna be needing a AA battery, that's all, not really anything fancy. So, oh god, alright. Make sure that you chose for the wheel placements all the small nails in the kit, because you don't want to use the big ones, because we're gonna end up using them to place the engine and then place the wheels as well. So I'm putting the last nail in the wheel placement. Alright, let's get it in. Hope it gets in, alright. Guys, these kits come at a very cheap price. When you buy this kit, it doesn't come alone. It comes with other 4 kits we're gonna be using later for the new videos that coming up. And the good thing is you can buy this set and you have yourself 5 kits, 5 experiments to go, and 5 inventions. Cool. You can see that I made my own wheel placements in there. So it basically, I have a place where I can put my wheels. You have a gap in there for the wheels, right? So it's really cool that we have that built first. And now I would like to actually zoom out for you, because I want you to see the whole thing. All right, so here is my wheel placements. The second step is now to place in the wheels. You're gonna need these 2 axles. These are basically what holds the wheels together. So you can imagine a regular car where you have the 2 wheels held in by an axle in the middle. So that's basically what this does. Right, and that axle is being held by the board. Okay, so it's gonna be looking down. This is how it looks from the bottom, right? So we want it to stand like that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna continue to work at the bottom to place in the wheels. First thing you need is that you need this gap holder, this thing, this orange thing, right? And you're gonna do what? You're gonna actually put it in the axle first, right? It's kind of easy. It goes through very easy, right? And then when you do that, what you need to do is make sure that you place it in the part that has the holes on the outside, not this part that has no holes, actually the part that has the holes inside, and then you stick it in, right? You can go ahead and use your board, something like that. I would rather go like that and push it in a little bit. Don't go too hard, because you don't want to break it. Remember, all of this stuff is made out of plastic. The wheels are plastic, right? Once you have a good grip and you see that it got held in, don't continue to press hard. Just make sure that the wheels actually just barely make it through. So the axle actually starts to show right here, and that's what you care about, right? You don't want to make it go through the hole and then break it for you. Second thing you need to do is do the same exact thing from the other side. Actually, before I do that, well, you need to actually put it through. So I would like to actually put it through. You can really manage where you want to put it. You can put it in the first hole in there, or you can put it in the second hole. I would like to put it in the second hole. Why? Because I don't want to leave a big gap between the board and the wheels. And then you repeat the same step here, but while the board is already attached. Because if you put the wheels in, it's not gonna be easy to, you know, put the second wheel while through the board. So now we're gonna push this in, and we got ourselves. Oh, look at that! It came through the other end, so we're gonna just push it out a little bit. Right? It wouldn't really matter, but we need to leave a gap so that we can see that the wheel is moving freely. You don't wanna get it stuck in there. Alright, I pushed it a little bit hard, just be careful of that. Alright, I want to actually push this through a little bit more out because it came out all the way. Alright. Okay, so that's what we want. We want it to be easy. Right, and now what I'm gonna do actually, I'm gonna put my screwdriver here so that when I push it doesn't actually come through the other end as it did before. Right, and it's almost getting there. Alright. Alright, so we have a wheel that moves easily. You can see that it's moving easily. You don't want it to get stuck because that will just put more work on the engine. Right, so now that we have that, we're gonna do the same exact step for the wheels in the back. First thing you do is that you get this separator, this orange thing, and you put it in, and then you get the wheel. Make sure that you put it in the inside, right where the holes are facing, and then you do the same thing. You put it in. I'm gonna put it in the second hole, and then you put the separator again. What this does, that orange thing, is that it separates the body of the wheel, the body of the car from the wheel, so that the wheel is not rubbing against the board. You will know what that is when you start actually working your car. When the car, you put in the batteries and you start to work with it, and so you feel like you got a good push in, and that the wheel's stable. Alright, there we go. So we have right now so far a car, right, but it doesn't have anything to move it. Right, if by any chance you feel like this is kind of stiff and it's not moving as easy, you can easily just move it back out and just put it back in. Just make sure that it's not really pushed in hard. I want to fix this part. So the good thing about this kind of invention is that you get to make mistakes and you get to fix them on the spot. You don't want to just continue on, because then you're not going to have an effective car. The car is not going to travel as fast, as far as you would like it to do. You want to get something that is quite easy to work with, and it's easy to travel. Alright, and I pushed it in, and that's kinda... Alright, let me just put the separator out. Alright guys, and we have our... Okay, let me just move out for you. Alright, so we have our car right here. So far, this is the first part. We have the board with the 4 wheels. Right, now we're gonna move on to the next step, which is basically I'm using my own plan, and it will come with it. It will come with a plan, so you can read from the plan if you would like to as well. Next thing is that we're gonna work with the engine. So I'm gonna put this thing aside, this body aside, and then we're gonna look at the engine, and we're gonna place in the other 2 wheels with it. So the first thing is you also have 2 axles, right, that come with it. These called we're gonna make these shafts out of them. So first thing you do is that you actually put this in the middle, and then you push it through. Make sure that it got in there, right? And then you're gonna actually have to keep on pushing until it comes out at about 5 millimeters. Like, push it in and let it come out about 5 millimeters. Okay? Not really that much. Okay? You don't have to get a ruler and go exact. I know some people will do that, and then put it in the engine at one of the sides. Push it in. Alright. So we got it in. Now the next thing is to get the other part done as well. Push it in about 5 millimeters. Alright, that's about 5 millimeters. And now do the same exact thing to the other side. So now we have ourselves the engine, right? So the thing that you're gonna do next is that you're gonna mount the engine on top of the car. Okay, so it's supposed to go on top of the car, so it powers these wheels, right? So that the car can move forward. So how do we do that? Well, first thing you need to do is that you need to get the battery holder in place. So I'm gonna put the engine aside for a second. And you have the engine or the battery holder. It has two wires. It has the black and the red. So what you want to do is that you want to put this battery holder in the back of the car. This could be your back or that could be your back. It doesn't really matter. Just put it somewhere. And actually we're gonna have to use the flat screws that came with it to screw it in. So we're gonna have to align it in a place where it actually fits. You don't have to actually screw the whole thing in. So once you can find the right place, before I do that, actually what I forgot to tell you is that we need to also pass these wires so that they don't give us much trouble later on. Now I can easily screw it in, and it comes through this end as well, so that it can later on be attached to the engine, right? And you can already get to see the full picture of how this will end up being. So you will do that here, and basically just screw in with the flat end. You only have one screw that came in with the kit that has a flat end. Screw that in. Okay, so now it's actually nice, it's in place. And this is your switch that came with it. This is the switch that came with it. It's basically how you turn on and off the battery. So when you close the circuit, you're able to power on the car because now all the electricity is in place. When you open the circuit, you do not have all the electricity that you need, right, to power up the place. Now the next thing you need to do is you have this what we call the engine holder. You're gonna put the engine to look like this, right? And what you want to do is that you want to hold it in place. So how do you do that? Well, just like that. About the fourth or fifth hole, you're gonna screw in this engine holder. Right, let me just find the right location. Alright, I think I have about the right place. Let me just zoom in for you. Okay, and now you see that I aligned up. You need to align up the engine holder with the board that has holes in it. Once you see that you already have it on top and it has holes, easily put in your screws. So I'm gonna use my I really forgot what this is called. I don't know why, it just skipped my mind. Right, and make sure that the end doesn't actually go with the battery holder because it's not gonna be easy for you to put in the batteries. So you don't want something in the way there. And just plug in that. If you see that you chose the wrong oh, I think I did choose the wrong nail, so let me just pick a different nail because this one is just kind of too small. You need a long nail. Why? Because you want to put in two holes that are kind of far apart together. So I'm going to put this nail. Once you have one nail in, that means you already have a place for the engine. So I kinda nailed it in. Alright, let me just put in the other nails as well. Put one side and then put the other side as well. Don't work on one side the whole time. I'm gonna pick the other nail and just put it in. Alright guys, by the way, this is my first time building this tank with you guys. I did not build it before we start or something like that, so that's why I'm going along with you. So I didn't want to do that before, so that I can go as slow as possible, so that we feel like we're building it together. Don't forget to give this video a like. I made sure that I leave you the link where the best place to buy this from. Now you have the option to use another nail, but once you see that it's in place and it's not moving out like this, like it's not really, it's all stabled, you can see that. You don't have to actually put the third or the final one. Now you're gonna use your, this is basically the nose of the tank, and it goes, I believe it will go on top of the engine. So first thing, you need to put this holder for the nose of the tank up here. Now I know where the other two nails are needed for. Once you have it up there, right, make sure that you place the two, choose the two smallest nails. Why? Because you see that this place doesn't really need a big nail to screw in. You can put it in these holes right here. My advice is always to start with the inside hole. Start screwing the inside hole first. Alright. Now that we have that, we need to just put one more, because I know easily, I'm building this for my little son. He's only a year old. Okay guys, if you below 8 years, I wouldn't suggest. 6 to 8 years, don't buy this kit, don't get it. It's not built for these who are below 8 years old. It has little parts that came with it, so just be careful not to buy this for your son or daughter if they are younger than 6 to 8 years old. Second thing, last thing we're gonna do, I want to zoom out a little bit for you guys. I'm zooming in and out because there's a lot of parts that come in along with this, is that you're gonna put the rubber band all across the wheels. Alright, make sure you do that. Alright, I forgot to actually put the nose. I'm gonna do that later once I'm done with that. Alright, and you can see that they all move at the same pace, right? Why is that? Because the rubber bands hold them all together, right? And these make it not slippery. Now you have this part. Make sure that you align it with these gaps that came in the wheels. Now you know what these gaps are for. Alright, it will take you like few seconds to get it all good. Alright, we have that right here, we have that right here. Okay, very good. And we can see that we did. After you actually put it in, kinda work with it a little bit to see if you actually placed it right. And now we kinda see a photo of, or a picture. We can get a picture of this is what this is gonna be like. Now the final step is to place this in, and then we can easily put the batteries, and we're done. We have our own first invention, guys. Isn't that nice? Now, how do you put this in? Well, one way you can do this is basically by building it like that. Did I do something wrong? I feel like I did something wrong. No, actually, you can actually. Did I do something wrong? I feel like I did. Yes, I did. Isn't that cool that we do some mistakes in inventions? What I did wrong was that I forgot to put this first. This holder is supposed to go in the tank first, and then we screw it to the engine. So we're gonna take this off, and we're gonna actually have to put it on the tank first. Put it in the tank first. Alright, screw it to the tank first, and then we screw the tank to the body. Right, but I really don't see much difference in doing that. The only thing is, I would like the tank to look like that. I would like the nose of the tank to be kind of tilted. I don't know why this thing is not really tilted. Like, how is this gonna be tilted if I put it on like that? It's gonna be actually sticking up like vertical, right? Isn't that kind of weird? So what I want to do is I want to somehow place this like this nose of the tank like that. So actually it goes like that. Now I see where the mistake is. It goes like that, not from the fat end. The fat end is what's supposed to shoot fire. So we actually gonna put it in like that, right? Screw it in, and see how that goes. Let's screw it in. I keep going far from the camera because I'm all zoomed in. Sorry about that. Oh god. Alright. Alright, hold it in. It's kind of screwed in. Alright, screwed in good. Now we're gonna screw that in there. But for some reason it's not tilted. I don't. Oh, now I see. Now I see what we're supposed to do. So once we have it in, guys, once you screw it in, just go like this. Why? Because you will easily be able to put it in, and it's actually tilted now. Isn't that nice? Alright? We discover things as we go, don't we? Right now, screw that in. So I want you to make sure that you guys are able to see this. I'm gonna zoom in for you. Alright, I'm gonna just put it in now, screw it in. And by doing that, guys, we have our first invention. Alright, so we do have our first invention. We have our tank. Alright, I'm gonna make sure that I fix my camera so you're able to see how it is from the vertical side. I'm gonna open up the circuit first so I'm able to place my batteries. And by the way, guys, they are just regular AA batteries. You can see that. Regular AA batteries. I did not go for something fancy. There is no need for that. So first we do is that we place this. Oh, did we forget something? Yeah, we did. What was that? Forget to connect the wires. How on earth is this thing gonna work without the wires? Excuse me, Mr. Tank. Oh, how do we connect the wires? Here's the thing. What you're supposed to do is that you're supposed to connect these two wires to the engine. Well, how do you connect that? Well, what you see here is that you have this little hole in there, right? Can you see that, guys? This little hole right here, and this another hole right there. So this hole and that hole right here. 1, 2. These where these two wires will go. So the first thing I would say to do is when you receive your kit, it will have halfway peeled wire. What you do is that you just take it off, out, right? Now the best way to try it, because your engine can go back or forth, whatever you would like to call it, if it's going forth or back, is basically depending on what you wanna. Because there's no front or end for this tank really. The nose is what determines the front and the back of the tank. So just put it in. Make sure that you actually kind of twist it a little bit so that you can easily put it in, because it's just flaring around. This wire just flares around, so you're not able to really accurately see how it is. Once you have that, just kind of twist it a bit. Once you have it in, and do the same thing with this one. And I'm gonna twist it a bit. Unless you twist them really nice. Okay, we got it in. Alright, now let's put in the batteries. Okay, I'm gonna start from the inside. I'm gonna place my battery. Start from the outside, place the battery. Once we have that in, shake this out. Shake this out. Check this out, guys. Isn't this really cool?